Welcome to the Fully Involved Podcast, and today we have a special guest, Chance Craven. Where are you from?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. We're here at the World Championships in Stewart. This is the last day of qualifiers, and the finals are going to be tomorrow and Sunday.
Tomorrow and Sunday.
So, Chance, met you for the first time. Where was it? Utah?
Utah Worlds last year.
And
it's
I
been
was
a
just
year
like,
now.
I think I know that guy because I think I followed you. Cause I was like, man, I like the way this guy shoots. Anybody shoots anything in the fire service, I just love it. So how did you get into photography?
Started photographing friends, skateboarding and surfing. Grew up in Jacksonville, and so
you're a Florida boy.
Florida boy.
Bam.
Flow grown. I think that's what we've been gone now for 14 years though, so it's been a minute. Now I come back.
Right.
I realize how hot it is in Florida. I don't want to live here, man. We have seasons
hot
in Greenville. Seasons. There's 4 of these
That's really
things
nice.
a year. But yeah, I was taking photos of friends as a teenager, skating and surfing, and more than just the art itself of photography, started to fall in love with the response to photography and seeing friends feel valued, get excited about seeing themselves, and even using it as a tool for improvement. Hey, I can't hit this particular trick. Here's where I'm messing up. And so it started many, many moons ago.
Do you do video?
No.
Video is a different
video
animal.
is a beast.
It's editing.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes, Eric mentioned before that some of these guys, they look polished and they look like they put out videos like boom, 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 but they're just like us.
Yep.
They have editors, and all they do is really just show up. Like some people, like I can remember is a very famous photographer that I can't remember, but all they do is just show up, and then they get somebody to edit, hand them their camera, change their lenses. Hey, I need an 85. Boom, it's there.
Done. Here you go.
I need a 50, and it's done. And we are a one-man band.
100%.
We do everything from the beginning to the end. We have to market. We have to promote ourselves, and it's.
How late were you up last night calling through photos and editing?
I was up late.
I saw you on like social media at 1 a.m. So I know you were up late.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the part people don't understand. You would do a shoot, and we're not gonna bash people, but you do a shoot that day, and then you're driving back, and they're like, "Hey,
can I get those photos?
Can I get this picture?"
No, not at all. You can't get those yet. So,
and give me the raws.
Yeah, I want the raw too. No, I'm not giving you that. No, not happening.
That's funny, man. So where are you staying here? When did you get in town?
Got in, drove down from Greenville Wednesday night. Got a couple shots Wednesday night, and then here through Sunday.
All right, so we're gonna back up a little bit. Who are you? Who is Chance? Tell me about yourself.
So Chance Craven, 36 years old. Happily married for the last 11 years to my bride, Katie.
Awesome.
We have a 9-year-old and 6-year-old boy.
Okay.
And faith first, family second, and then all these other things work related. It's kind of what I do. It's not who my identity is. And really just believe in the power of encouragement and honoring each other. And yeah, that's me.
And speaking of honor, that's the name of your company, right?
Yep. So Honor Supply Co. is a mission-first media company. We exist to honor firefighters by sharing what they do.
Awesome. How long you been doing that?
2000s, whenever the LLC was started. Or 2020, sorry.
Okay. And where can they find you if somebody was looking for you?
Yep. So you can find Honor Supply Co., honorsupplyco.com. And every photo we've taken, fire service related, is hosted on there.
Yeah, you do a lot of good stuff, man. I've seen you. Do you shoot at the smoke divers, Georgia smoke divers, or?
So I do not. That's a friend named Ches, who is a smoke diver. I have not been afforded that privilege because they do some secret stuff in there that they don't want everybody knowing. So I'm not a smoke diver. I don't have the ability to go take those photos yet. Okay. But I will happily come take them if you guys want me to.
Take them.
Come on, guys.
And you know what's so funny? We have a couple guys in our department that just got accepted.
Okay.
So
in the November class?
Yes.
Nice.
So looking forward to those pictures. And yeah, man, I would have loved to go on and tell their story because I think it's been years since anybody has been an official smoke diver. I think they did the ones who previously done it were Florida smoke divers, and they're probably not Georgia smoke divers. So I think it'd be a great accomplishment, and hopefully these guys do well, man, because they've been putting in the work.
That's awesome.
So looking forward to that.
Definitely a phenomenal program. Like Ches does a great job of capturing it, having gone through it, of showing the camaraderie that's in it, but also the challenge without giving away all of the different elements that's a part of it. So yeah, great program.
All right. So who you planning on shooting this weekend? What's your goal this weekend?
So obviously everybody knows some of the staples that are here, and everyone takes their photos. I get really excited about taking photos when no one else is taking pictures. And so the people that are showing up for their first run trying to qualify, people that just qualified and it's their first ever worlds, happy to shoot everybody. But I
Right.
get really excited about those portraits of guys that almost feel like, well, no one's watching me
Left
anymore.
out.
Yeah. So it document everybody. That's the goal. But especially focusing on those people that may not see their photo anywhere else.
I like that approach because I've done some CrossFit, and like to me, everybody wants to see the rich, they want to see the mats, they want to see the tiers, but nobody ever wants to shoot the adaptives.
Yep.
And to me that's I get a lot out of it shooting the
Hmm.
adaptive athletes. To me, that's
Absolutely.
just like it's I love doing it.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about before we started of the whole honoring people with photos. Jared Johnson will have 100 photos taken of him this week, and rightfully so. Bust his tail, does hard work. He's a stud athlete. But I don't think he's the only person that we have to focus on.
Correct.
And a lot of times when we only focus on the elites or even your riches in CrossFit, it sets this expectation of, well, if I'm not that, I don't belong in this community. And I think photography and media is a great way to show people that whether you're an adaptive athlete, a brand new athlete, someone that's 51 and just got lines in yesterday, like there's a place for all of us in these communities. And photography is a great way to show that diversity.
It almost seems like once you're in the masters category, it's just like nobody wants to take a picture or
Yeah.
give you a platform to show that you're still there and you're not forgotten.
And I think the ripple effect that people don't realize is so like I have a friend here this week from Spartanburg,
Okay.
51, got into Lions Den Wednesday. His name's Garrett Stokes.
All right, we gotta look for Garrett.
And our department, or the city of Spartanburg Fire Department, Garrett's obviously on the older side of the demographic, but
Are you calling me old? Because I'm 53.
older, not old, older. But now Garrett went to a couple events before today or
Okay.
this week. And then this week he brought a younger firefighter with him named Jenna, and she raced. And so, like, even masters, the influence that you can have beyond a certain age is now there's two of them. Next year's like, well, we're putting together a team. Like, we're traveling 3 to 5 deep and going to do this more and more. So I think that's why it's so important to have these moments because even at masters, you may not be the person that everyone photographs, but your influence and the ripple effect of your actions, if given the opportunity to share them through media, can influence someone that you don't realize is influencing. Because what I have found is most people that are out here doing the work, they're not talking about it, they're not posting about it, they're not sharing it. And so a Stokes has never posted on social that he is training for the event. So having photos and mentioning him today, even on my social, where people back in Spartanburg are like, oh man, Stokes is doing it. Like, maybe I should get on this train next year and
I
travel with
I
them.
think I know what you're talking about. Red helmet, right?
Red helmet.
I think I might even got a couple of shots.
He's a beast.
I saw
Like
that
a
guy. I was like,
beast.
damn, it's a big dude.
Yeah, he's big. So and like for me, so photography, where this gets really special, is Stokes came on to the city of Spartanburg Fire Department while I was still there.
Okay.
So I have a cell phone photo of him after his first fire. And so now you start to get this catalog of images where here's a guy that in his early 40s joins the fire department, already feels somewhat out of place because he's an older guy, gets hired. He was a beast then, could outwork all of us. But then you get a picture of him on his very first fire. Then you get a picture of him doing training and scenarios. Then you get a pictures of him starting the challenge. Now you create this catalog of images that are like, man, here's a person's story. It's not just a photo.
Right.
Here's a series of photos that honors this person's journey through the fire service, the challenge, CrossFit, whatever it may be.
That's awesome, man. It's funny you say that because we have some cadets who are coming up tomorrow. They couldn't come during the week because they're in school,
Yep.
and those guys are going to be resetting the course. They're going to be helping out, and they're going to run on Saturday and
Yes.
Sunday. So it's awesome, man, that you get. It's tough to get guys to do this
Yep.
because this is not easy.
Mm-mm.
And these kids, they've been practicing their butts off, and to just see the influence and just the newer generation come along. Because yeah, I'm old, I'm getting there. I had a couple of back surgeries, and sometimes it's tough to train
Yeah,
to be good at this, but it's good to see guys like here, Eric coming on board, and we got some guys coming up today. So we have an over 40 relay team, and we also have the cadets coming up. So hopefully we can inspire some young guys because it's
that's
it's
awesome.
tough.
That's awesome. So then tomorrow you'll be one of those people that get to photograph cadets running outside of you actually running in Worlds. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
And but then it'd be awesome if 3 to 5 years from now those cadets running tomorrow are actually in Worlds wherever it is and running, and then you've
That
been
would be
able to
great.
catalog this moment of like, hey, here's the first time they ran, here's the first time they broke lines down. Like, I get very excited about capturing longevity stories like that.
That's awesome. And that's something that as a photographer, and I'm delving into video and podcasts here, it's telling the story.
Hmm.
That's sometimes that's the hardest thing to do because you just don't want to post highlight reels all the time. You want to be able to tell the story. And that's something I had to learn and I'm still learning.
Absolutely. Like and so with art and photography, I think it could very much be the same as only posting like the awesome people in a sport. We will start to get in our own minds and be like, well, bangers only. Like, I'm only going to post highlight reels. And then we as artists start to create this perception too of like, man, if your work isn't the very best, it's not worth sharing. And it's like, no, we can control that narrative. Like, hey, here's the 10 out of focus photos that represent the 2000 that I took yesterday. And I just want you guys to know that every photo that you see today isn't all that I capture.
Right.
And so just getting in that phase, whether you're doing YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, like sharing the garbage, I think there's a level of transparency there that is engaging and needed in the environment that we live in just as much as, hey, here's
Every
all the
shot
super
isn't
great work.
perfect.
Every shot. So I think I uploaded 553 photos yesterday that were
Already?
already, they online. And so, but that's why I didn't get out there this morning either till 10 o'clock. And so, but of those, there's 3,000 that were out of focus, missed, like Team Canon all day, but autofocus, it misses sometimes.
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything, but you come over to Sony, man.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
No, once you
Can't.
invest in a an ecosystem, you're not gonna change.
Mm-mm.
And they all have their things, as far as how did you get into Canon?
So Canon was like the first cyber shot that I ever had, like flip down. And so from that point forward, it was always like, well, this is the brand that I'm going to stick with, rely on. And so it's just,
That's it.
I don't like change. I'm going to ride with Canon. How'd you get Sony?
I,
You
like I said,
started Canon, didn't you?
no, no, no.
No?
I was all straight Sony,
Okay.
Sony. It was one of my CrossFit buddies who shot, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm looking to buy a camera. Anything you recommend?" And he goes, "You know what? This was years ago." He says, "Look into Sony. They're getting to the mirrorless camera business, and they're moving forward." And I guess at that time, Nikon and Canon, they weren't really into full frame yet or the
Yep.
mirrorless. Maybe they were just waiting to see how Sony does before they jumped in. And I just went and bought a Sony, and then that was it, man.
And then you
That's
buy
how
one lens and then another lens. And to your point, once you're in the ecosystem,
once you're in, you're in.
you're not bouncing out.
And people don't know how much of an expensive hobby this is. Like I just bought a memory card for my camera there, and you don't even want to know the price of it.
Is it?
It's a terabyte set write speed of like 700-800.
Oh, that's $500 right there.
It's a little bit more than that.
That's crazy.
If people knew how much we spent on gear,
Yeah.
it's yeah, man.
But then that's one of the things that, so like, for whatever reason, we just never talk about those things. And so it's like, hey, here's all the great work I've done. And again, we start to paint these unrealistic expectations where people will tell you, hey, the gear doesn't matter. Like, best camera you have is the one that's with you. I get it. I'll take a lot of shots with my phone. But at the end of the day, if you want to get better, you have to make investments, whether that's even what we're doing today. Like, if you go out there right now with 2 lenses and a harness and 2 bodies and you try to shoot all day and you haven't jogged, drank water, you're going to fall out on the course. Like, there's so many different levels to training and what we do. And part of that investment as well is the gear. And yes, iPhones and other phones are amazing, but the more that even your read write speed, that makes a difference in a sport like this and how fast you're going from being able to get a shot and not get a shot. But if you share everything that looks awesome, and then in the next post, because it's trendy, we say that gear doesn't matter. The 17-year-old that's looking at our photos right now, and they're like, "Well, how did Steve get that shot? That's like, well, it's a $500 memory card, just base." And then you throw in thousands of dollars worth of glass and bodies. Hey, you can get here, but it is longevity. It
And
takes
it's a
time.
lot of work. I can't tell you how many webinars I've gone to, conferences I've gone to, YouTube channels that I've watched. I'm subscribed to Full Time Filmmakers. I don't know if you ever heard Parker
Hmm.
Wallbeck
Oh
and
yeah.
all those places. I've learned. I've invested not just in gear but in time and effort.
Yep.
And people think you just point the camera. Well, one of the things that is funny when people say you take a decent shot or what you think is a decent shot, and they say your camera is awesome.
It's all the camera. It's 100% the camera.
It's all the camera. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the camera does help, but there's a little bit to it.
Yeah,
There's more than
absolutely.
just pushing a button.
And that is the investment. Like, how many hours have you watched a full-time filmmaker or a Peter McKinnon or someone like that that's like, hey, here's how to do these things, because they're already doing it. And then they spent hundreds of hours to even be able to get to the point to teach us those things. So, and there's a lot of like trial by fire too. Like, we learned some
Exactly.
things from, like, I've learned to always keep 2 older SD cards in my truck, because there's been multiple times that, like, I show up to a shoot and I'm like, I still sitting on the counter like I left.
Did yesterday.
Yeah, see, exactly. So it's funny because Peter McKinnon, who's also like a YouTuber,
Yeah, I know. Watch all of his stuff.
he built like he's a product. Oh my goodness, like so many good
I even
products.
thought about his filter.
So that's what I'm rocking on my cameras.
Really, which
Yep.
which one do you have?
So I have the Polar Pro circular polarizer.
And how many stops is
And
that?
see, now you're talking video. I don't know stops. It's a
Oh, come on, it's almost
polarizer.
the
I
same
just
thing,
turn
man.
it
Just
and
turn it.
yeah. But Peter built like a camera tool where you can adjust things, screws, stuff like that. But it has an SD card slot on it, so you can just store a random SD card on it. So then in the event you ever leave one,
I'm gonna be on Amazon or B&H or
yeah,
one of those places because I've done that. And because you take out all your cards, and then sometimes I was watching a video where somebody says once they're done, they put it back in the camera just to make sure that they don't make that mistake.
that's a smart idea.
And yeah, man, there's a lot of things you learn, man. I've had that experience.
Yesterday, but you still adapted. You got the photos. You're good to go.
So you're into photography. Check him out, Chance Craven. No chance you're doing it in video.
No video.
No video at all.
I mean, so ironically, my personal Instagram at Chance Craven, I share a lot of video stuff there, but it is 100% shot with my iPhone. And some of those reels have like 2 and 3 million views now. And so
I know those are the ones that take off.
it's crazy. So I work with a guy named Jordan Rogers. He spent 10 years at Nike, recently left and started his own thing. And he said something the other day that just like resonated. And he was like, every social media post is a lottery ticket. You never know which one's going to win, but you're never going to win if you're not playing. And so it's that thing where some of the most successful reels and social media reach that I've had is that like completely unedited, using Instagram's like editor, putting just a straight 30-second clip of something with music, and then it gets 2 million views. You're like, how? But I spent 4 hours editing this and it got 1,000 views.
Yes.
And then, so you never know. Like it really is the lottery.
Yeah, man. But that's the business we live in, man. But hey, man, thanks for coming by and having a chat with us. I'm sure we're
Absolutely.
gonna be doing some shooting this weekend, and hopefully we get to do this thing soon. Any more events that you're gonna be going to? I saw you had a list that you're gonna be traveling, man. You look busy,
Yeah,
man.
the rest of this year we'll be in New York for the Joey D training. We'll be in Greensboro, North Carolina for a truck company ops training. There's a few different events throughout the rest of the year.
Bunch of conferences. Check them out. And you said you're into marketing. I don't think we even got to that. So what is your brand? You're a marketer.
Yeah, so Craven Design Co. is separate of Honor Supply Co.
Okay.
Honor Supply, again, is a a mission first media company. So everything that we do this week, we don't charge anybody. We pay for everything. We give away all the photos for free. So there's no expense to the person that we're photographing. I'm able to do that, one, because I'm just genuinely blessed, Two, I run a marketing company called Craven Design Co., where we help people start companies and build brands. And that's not niche to any specific industry. I've been very fortunate to build relationships and retainers with clients that pay me to do everything from websites to logos to marketing. And I have a small team of people that are helping execute that stuff today so that I can come out and do things like this.
That's awesome, man. Good luck, man. So hey,
Thank you, sir.
check him out. Chance Craven, thank you for coming by and talking to us,
Absolutely.
and maybe do this again soon, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.